we're good to go. Back up just a little bit. Okay, hello and welcome. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I burned myself a couple weeks ago and the skin's all flaky now. Anyway, I don't know that I really needed to share that, but it's what's on my mind. And that's what we're gonna sit here and do right now, is just share things that are on my mind. I can't tell what you can see and what you can't see. Let me put on my glasses real fast, because Okay, cool. I got like a camera behind the camera, because I don't have a viewfinder because I use my phone. Anyway, I have been really wanting to make more videos, but every time I have an idea or every time I get ready to go out and film and everything, like it just becomes a whole production and it becomes like such a big project that I just feel like I'm unable to do any of it, like whatsoever. And especially because like my technology is kind of getting old and everything. Like I don't know how much longer I'll even have the option to be trying to make videos like with the current technology that I have, and with the money that I'm making right now, I also don't necessarily see myself being able to get new equipment anytime soon, although we never know, things could change, right? Like, and that's kind of what I want to come here and talk about today anyway, is like I am just coming to the burning realization. I don't even know that that's totally honest. It's been a slow burn realization. It's just starting to boil now that I'm feeling out of alignment. And listen, there's a lot of great things going on in my life right now. I recently started swing dancing for funsies, and that's been like a really cool thing to do. I've taken a little bit of a break with burlesque, and by that I mean like I'm not putting any solo acts together right now or anything like super intense, just a couple of group choreos of dances that have already been performed, and we're just doing them again at different venues and stuff like that. So it's not even having to learn anything new or put costumes together. It's just showing up to rehearsal, showing up the night of the dance and just doing it. So I don't know, I was getting to a space where I was like, I'm about to burn out. And then I've also been taking piano lessons, which has been awesome. I've been like mostly self-taught with piano throughout my life. And, you know, I don't know, I'm pretty proud to say like I've composed some really awesome stuff like without ever having any sort of, I don't want to say no formal training whatsoever. It's like, I'm a weird situation because like I have a lot of formal training in voice, especially as like an opera singer and everything. And so like it is a lot of like copy and paste. Like I already know Mozart, I already know, Brahms, a lot of these things or whatever from a choral perspective, or, some of them like with an opera perspective and stuff like that. And so it's not me having to completely learn and start from scratch and everything. And at the same time, like, there still is a lot of newness to it. I'm gonna get to that, I think, probably in another video, but that's been really cool. Like I've been doing that for about like 6 months now, and my 2 goals going into it were I want to expand my musical vocabulary like on the keys, so when I'm composing, my body just knows what to do. And I wanted to have a much stronger, much more intentional left hand, because I felt like I was relying too much on octaves, and it's something that I'm still really low-key insecure about. And so like I'm doing like a lot of Bach, because a lot of that is forcing my hand to move in all of these different ways that it's never done before. So that's just a little bit of a summary of like what I've been up to. I've needed to slow down just enough to get my momentum up so that way I can get going. But I am thinking about videos and making videos constantly, like almost on a daily basis. And then oftentimes when I go to make it, I'm just like no, I didn't say the things that I wanted to say, or, you know, this isn't the concept that, you know, I'll spend too many hours. Oh, are we okay? It just says low battery. We can deal with low battery. I thought I was running out of storage again. That was another thing that was happening, is I would just run out of storage, or, you know, I'd be thinking about the video all day long, and then by the time I get to it, I'm like, this isn't even what I wanted to make. But it never felt right, and it always felt like really performative. And even if that wasn't like necessarily the intention, it felt gross. It felt icky. It did not feel in alignment. I gotta say, like right now, this is probably the closest that I've gotten to feeling somewhat stable and okay. And I think because like I don't know, maybe the intention of just sitting on my bed and just literally putting the camera in front of me, no time to think about it, just like turn it on, see what happens sort of thing, is helpful. Maybe that's kind of the style that I need. That's the other thing too, is like I've been watching YouTube for years, and I think like sometimes I'm like, oh, I like watching this content, therefore I should try to create something like that. And I don't know that that's necessarily, I don't know, it's kind of like a bit of a trap, because just because I like watching stuff like that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to resonate most and be the most authentic. If I try to go do that, that's like trying to copy and paste somebody else's expression. And I'm just feeling stuck with that in general. Like, what is my expression? I'm starting to feel that even within music right now too, because I haven't been writing my own stuff. I haven't been working on my own stuff. I'll not constantly, but at enough times throughout the week, I'll have the 2 songs that I need to finish, like for this EP that I've been trying to write or whatever for the past year, like, and they're haunting me. They're like, hi, we're not finished. And I'm like, I know you're not. And I'm convincing myself, I'm like, I don't have the piano skills that I need yet to be able to write you, like, because one of them's like insane. Or at least for me, as somebody who has not, you know, studied piano my whole life or whatever, in a formal way, like many others have. So yeah, if you can't already tell, like I'm still stuck in just like a comparison mindset with all the things. And I'm trying to get out of it, and I'm trying to work towards more alignment and being able to just feel a sense of purpose, maybe not even so much externally at this point, but just like internally for myself, being able to actually get to the point where I can feel a sense of presence and appreciation for where I am. Because though I have moments of it, and you know, I'm human. I'm not trying to talk myself into perfectionism here. If anything, I'm usually trying to talk myself off the ledge of perfectionism. But I think I'm also kind of in trying to not be a perfectionist sort of thing. Almost gaslighting myself into being like, no, it's okay. Like you're content enough with where you are. Like just be grateful, live in the moment. And it's like, there's value to that. There's balance with everything, right? As my bestie always likes to say, 2 things can be true. That's where I am. I guess maybe the one thing that I can kind of hold on to right now is that I've been operating with this mantra of make everything 10% better from where you are right now. And it started with this quilt, this queen size quilt that's on my bed right now. I had a duvet cover that matched what this pillow looks like. Okay, just toss that back there. It was fine. I don't mind that color and everything. It was originally white. I'd had it for like 5 years, and you know, of course, especially blankets, when they're white, eventually they're not going to be white after enough washes and just laying on them and stuff like that. And so that happened, and I dyed it once, and then I ended up dyeing it a second time, like a year later, because that color started to fade after like sending it through the wash enough times. It was starting to get like more yellow, less blue-green and everything. And I was like, I don't like this. I wanted my space to feel good. I dyed it, But then every 2 days there was like a new like massive hole in it, like this big, and I had to keep sewing it. And I'm like, am I really going to like tend to this every time? Like this doesn't now I don't even have an association of like feeling relaxed in my own bed. Like it's time. I maybe can't afford a duvet cover because I checked. Let me tell you, they're expensive. But I was like, okay, maybe I can't do a duvet cover. Maybe I have to put the comforter up and away for right now. What can I do instead? And I realized I'm like, I can get a quilt, and I can get a quilt and a blanket. I got this blanket too. I have to get the blanket, otherwise like the cats will ruin the quilt or whatever when they're making their biscuits. So this is the blanket for me to just enjoy, but also for them to be redirected and like, here, make the biscuits on this. Yeah, I got both for literally less than half the price that it would have cost me to get a duvet cover. And my whole thing was like, it doesn't have to be what you initially thought it was. It just needs to be at least 10% better. And let me tell you, that like that night, putting both the blanket and the quilt on, I'm like, it felt 100% better. That was a beautiful blessing, but it then encouraged me to go around the house and start organizing things. I'm like, how can I make this 10% better? How can I make this 10% better? And suddenly I had the energy to like just get the momentum going and make things happen. And it occurred to me today that I'm like, wait, I can do that with my videos too. And honestly, I probably should start applying that mental stuff to my music, because I will admit that I'm kind of in, it's a great era, a great space. Like I'm experiencing a lot of growth and everything, and I love my piano lessons so much. I'm taking them from a friend of a friend, and I'm like, it has been one of the most healing experiences ever. There's just like a lot of stuff in my past or whatever that it just makes it hard for me to digest some stuff. And I don't know, if you're a classical musician yourself, then you know the scars that can come along with like the need for perfectionism, and like constantly, as soon as you meet one benchmark, you feel like you have to set the bar 20 feet higher, and just keep doing that and making it so unrealistic for yourself. And it's really unkind, and it puts me in a space of like, I notice that I start to like judge other people and everything too, and that is not something that I've had in a while. But like there's just a lot of things that are coming up right now, and I'm like, we gotta work through this. Like I said, I'm like, I could make a whole nother video just on where I am with my music journey right now. I just want to be making changes to offer myself a space to facilitate like just more authenticity, more of a sense of connection with myself, and understanding that that can change, and that is going to change, that is going to grow. I don't know. I think that I've been feeling like I have to reach a certain milestone of finding myself before I can make the videos. And I think I'm starting to at least become open to the idea that these two things can happen simultaneously. I'm going to let go of what that looks like. And you know what? Honestly, I don't think it's such a bad thing if my content right now is less curated and a little bit more of just what I'm doing right now, just sit down and talk. Because I think also as a consumer, like I'm getting really sick of like super oversaturated things that are meant to grab your attention. And I think that that is creating a resistance, and it's like, well, I don't want to be creating that. And that's not to say that like you can't be putting together like a full production video and have it be like super genuine and authentic. There are a lot of creators who I very, very much enjoy watching their videos as they come out. And they're very structured and like have a formula and all of that stuff or whatever. So I'm not here to poo-poo on that. And of course, as I just said, things can change, and it will be interesting to see how my content might change as I move forward. But right now, I just want to take a step forward. So this video is me just making things 10% better by just doing it. And I'm hoping that as I'm making this, it will give me the courage to make the next video. And who knows, maybe that video is only gonna be like 3 minutes long. That's okay. Like, but let's do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this thing rolling. Let's get started with it in a way that makes sense for me. All right, I gotta go. My phone is about to die.